Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about clocks. I'm going to give you examples of analog clocks and digital clocks. We're also going to look at telling time on the hour and the half an hour and how those times would be written. So I'm going to include some pictures and some other things, and yeah, that's our math lesson for today. Okay, so the image you just saw is a digital clock, and it says that it's 12 o'clock. The 12 is before the two dots, which is a colon, that is the hour, and the 00 is the minutes. When you see two double zeros like that, it means o'clock. So the image that you just saw says it is 12 o'clock. As we move on in this math lesson, in the future we're going to talk about the difference between AM and PM, but today, since we're just introducing clocks, I'm going to show you some examples of some digital times, and then we'll do them together. So if we look at this, I have written the hour in purple and the minute in orange. So the 30 is that is what that represents. So this is 12:30, where the 00 represents o'clock. So let's look at this. We have 12:30, 5 o'clock, 8:30, 2 o'clock, 1:30, 3 o'clock, 4:30, 6 o'clock, 7:30, 9 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. These double dots here are the colon. Remember, the hour is before the double dots and the minute is after. Okay, so we're going to go over those times one more time, and I want you guys to do it with me. So here we go. Let's start on this side. We have 12:30, 5 o'clock, 8:30, 2 o'clock, 1:30, 3 o'clock, 4:30, 6 o'clock, 7:30, 9 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. Can you identify with any of these times what time you go to bed, or when you brush your teeth, or what time you have lunch? For instance, I go to bed every night at 10:30. The picture you just saw is an analog clock, and it's different than the digital clock. So we're going to play detective, and we're going to learn how to tell what time it is on the analog clock. I will tell you that right now, the picture you just saw said it was 8 o'clock, and now I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so this is an analog clock, and if you look at it, you can see the different numbers that go around. Each one of these numbers technically represents an hour and a minute, just like on the digital clock. For instance, the small hand tells us, and these are hands, so the small hand tells us the hour, and the big hand tells us the minute. This little hand right here tells us the second, but we'll look at that later. So remember, small hand is the hour, big hand is the minute. Now, we talked about o'clock and 30. 12, when the minute hand is on 12, on an analog clock, that is the same thing as o'clock. And when the little hand is, when the big hand is at 6, like it is now, that represents 30. I really enjoyed looking at clocks with you today. Your assignment is to get a piece of paper and 2 different markers and write down some important times to you. Maybe you could tell me when your favorite show comes on, what time you go to bed, or the time that you have dinner with your family. Write down at least 4 important times. Make sure that your hour and minute are different colors and you're using the digital time, and we will go over it tomorrow in class. Have a good night.